So just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture and feel the sensation of the feet on the floor, the weight of the feet on the floor. Your sits bones, your hands in your lap, and imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light. So you're lengthening your spine. Shoulders are aligned with the hips and the ears align with the shoulders. And then just go to the crown of the head and relax any tension in your scalp, your face, your shoulders, your body. And then come to your breath. Notice the sensation as you inhale and exhale. And just be aware of any sounds in your environment, just allowing them to be there. And try not to have your mind run off and investigate. And then just check in with your mind. How are you doing today? And for those of you who it's early morning, is your mind different this morning after a good night's sleep than it was last night? For those of you, if it's late evening, is your mind different tonight than it was this morning? So just check in with yourself and you'll probably recognize that there has been some change. And the relief of impermanence sometimes. So be objective about what you're seeing in your mind. Try not to follow all the stories. And just bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and then the ones you don't like so much. Just remembering that these relationships are interchangeable. And however you feel about anyone at any particular moment, they're just the same as you in that they want to be happy and they don't want to suffer. And everybody, without exception, has this capacity for an enlightened mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So you imagine there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And the reason we want to regret is because we don't want any more future suffering. So logically, it makes sense to pull those karmic seeds out before they ripen. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret anger and attachment and the rest of our delusions. that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then we think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And then we come to this power of reliance. So we've got refuge and generating compassion in this section. The first one, refuge, we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us necessarily. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are shaped like lotus petals. And he's looking at you with complete acceptance, just exactly as you're turning up to this session. Love, compassion. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding a bell representing wisdom, the right holding a vajra representing the indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed like that, it symbolizes enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings and the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past. And then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then you want them to be free from suffering. This is really what compassion is. And then you think about the people who've harmed you. Because I don't think about revenge. Think about compassion. You don't want them to suffer as well. So I think we'll just do this practice for the sake of all these sentient beings and think I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start, and it includes visualization, and mantra. So with the body, Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Triam Kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya, Setva a Hompe, Vajrasafa Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasafa Dina Patita. Jida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya, Setva a Hompe, Vajrasafa Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasafa Dina Patita. Jida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya, Setva a Hum Pe. And so be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of your speech. And Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and inappropriate speech and lying and talking about other people behind their backs and getting other people to sort of agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mihiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hompe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hompe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hompe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hompe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hompe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hompe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa tata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva a Hum Pe. And so I feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech, with any sound that comes out of your mouth, anything you write. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown. And as instantaneously as you flick on a switch and in the dark room, the light comes. It's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, instantaneously, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachments and neediness and bitterness and grudges and disappointments and jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samayam nupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sutokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samayam nupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva samayam Manupalaya, Vajrasattva dinapatita, Jida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So just be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And now think that there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar simultaneously. So the nectar flows down, purifying all the negativity of the body, and the nectar flows up, purifying the speech, and then the light comes and blasts all the delusions, and in this way, eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa Sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Jida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta mebo was sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe vajrasafa samayam manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anurakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samayam manupalaya, vajrasafa dinapatita, Jida mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, Anurakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Jida mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anurakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Jida mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, Anurakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kur hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anurakta mebowa, sawasidi mepi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kur hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. So here we decide the fourth and final step. We decide to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And just rejoice in your efforts for coming along to this practice so consistently. Incredible, really. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. You know, as I say, just keep it simple. Be aware of what's going on in your mind. And then Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all these people of your life, and by extension, all sentient beings, and including yourself, as you know, you walk along your spiritual path. All the different places there. Okay, so let's just do our chanting the names of men. Jushri, the bearer, the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme, most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the great illusion's aims, enraptured by the great illusion's rapture, the great illusion's great illusionist, the foremost lord of great munificence, supreme upholder of great discipline, intense supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence. Are we up? We do not. Oh, that's it. Okay. I could have done 4. Never mind. Maybe we'll increase it to 4. And so let's just dedicate for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for all of your own individual teachers. Thank you, everyone.